Well, it was you who asked me, looking at me in a way, and I admit, I gave you an explanation on our way to live that cannot satisfy anyone. I wish, and I aware of this, but could I tell you the real reason without first illustrating the facts, or rather, how did we get there? On the other hand, Sir, how would you like me not to afflict me, that I do not grieve to see him forced to give everyone an absurd explanation? Come on, an horrible and always inaccurate, always the same. Can you gentlemen really believe everything he says and shows, even if everything seems perfectly credible, like the fact that this one is carrying is a second wife? Yes, it is, of course, it is true. But it is a need. Believe me, gentlemen, a need for him to say so, to feel like this, to live like this. I am just saying that in this way it was possible for him to restore calm, confidence, stability, yes. However, himself senses within himself the enormity of what he says and what he forced himself to say, and so he takes pleasure in increasing, to cover, confuse, bury what should instead shine in the sunlight, After all, you will have seen him. Yes, he tries to charm, to be believed on true facts, yes, but he makes it to appear different, even from how he actually sees. And it's ours. Yes, he betrays himself, of course, since he wants to appear what he is not, and he believes it himself. He must believe it, because this is the purpose. Me? In all this chaos? But I told you, you can imagine. On the contrary, I would not be true, tangible. I would not exist, even though I exist. I agree that there is never a clear distinction between white and black, light and shadow, but in special cases like that, I have told you about him and I, the true and the false cannot coexist, because everything is so horribly true. Oh, thanks for the water. No, for heaven's sake, gentlemen, what do you believe? He's, on the other hand, a lovely person. It is only this key that must not be touched, and no one touches it, but by himself he continues to orchestrate in this direction, as he always has, in a way or another. No, I am not judging at all, but how do you want me not to grieve to see him forced to give everyone an explanation as soon as he gets the impulse that the time has come again, because gentlemen, you see, to be convinced and to convince on something that is not true, you have to relieve the comedy, put it back on the stage, understand me, and often you have to invent new scenes to keep you bound, create and do new action, often important, to prove the truth again, and certainty that it's all true. You know, there are many as well as him, multitudes like him, if one really want to see, and they act almost the same way. Now finally I recognize them instinctively. I see that some of you look down. I do not understand, while others, on the contrary, keep looking at me, I see. And through the way you look at me, I realizing now that he has come here recently. His smell is still here to prove that in exchange for all the gold in the world I should never have revealed. And tell me now that you know well Has he presented himself to you in the manner I have just described? Did he play you a new scene? Which? Don't look down again. Talk! Don't you lie to me too! Oh, sorry, gentlemen, but it is a disgrace which, with so many hardships, through so many pains, I tried to eclipse, yes, but on the condition that we live like this, as you see me, as miserable as you know we live, by appearance, yes, in a truth that cruelly lies to itself. Prisoners, yes, by our own will, in a cell that needs to be repainted with gold every day. Don't grieve me. On the contrary, I have a privileged position. I am a shadow that appears and disappears just according to moods, or someone who must be denied his true identity, his true legitimate role. Certainly, I am not delighted. And so he changed his life, but life didn't change with him ever, and neither did I. What? To clarify? Oh, gentlemen, what do you say? What do you mean? Clarify between him and life, between me and him, and what is there to clarify in something that was born unclear? A meeting between him and I? What do you mean? Of course there was. Do you doubt about it? After all I've had to reveal to you? Why don't you talk? Because do you think he and I have never met? Do you think I made up this whole story out of the blue? Is that why you think I am mad? Oh, how I wish it. But gentlemen, I am so sorry to disappoint you. A meeting? Yes, there was a meeting and overcome any barrier in a moment. It was the life of each of us waiting for that moment, a moment that, of course, is always present, has no boundaries of any kind, because it is true, and therefore I let you look into my eyes now. Please. You react, because this has also happened to you in life. And then we survive. We continue to live in our absurd way, in which we all live. A new meeting in this situation? Oh, it might not be productive, not to serve, I think, to help, but on the contrary, perhaps it would make things worse. You see, gentlemen, if I had arrived a moment before him a little while ago, there would have been the meeting. But, as I was trying to explain, I feel that it would not have overcome any barrier. In fact, the meeting did not even happen, despite the very high probability of being there. It did not happen, no, because I have already told you everything is clear. Because his calm, trust, stability are based on a point, the appearance. You live by appearance when you want appearance to be life, and so these are not, I think, the right element for a meeting again. What if he returns, you wonder, since he was here a little while ago, and from what I understand, we didn't meet for a split second? No, gentlemen, I don't think he's coming back. I feel that he feel that I am here. And with what you now know, oh, gentlemen, no, he doesn't want to come back to face me, you together, having to admit. You never know, are you saying? Oh, but let's be practical, concrete. In his current situation in which he plunged, he cannot give light to a shadow like me. Otherwise, he overturns his home game, giving light to the truth. There he is. No, I am wrong. But yes, it's him from behind. but I recognize him well, very well. No, he can't see me here. There are the glass in the entrance that prevent him from seeing, but if he moves here, now I can see him well. He's absorbed, pensive. I've never seen him like that. Perhaps he heard all. It may be that he came back here before without our knowledge and listened to everything, and then he went out and stood there near to the entrance where we now see him. No, I don't feel like going to him. He seems to be immersed in something big, and so why? To disturb him, he has a life on his own now. I have no more to do with it. To go and to awake something that was now. Yes, he came back to me after killing our love, but now, do you love a dead love back? Yet my blood is still boiling, and I would be ready, as in the past, to break any obstacle, instead to continue to look at him and run to him and put my arms around his neck, and he went away. You see, gentlemen, away, disappeared as a shadow disappears. There is his light there, but it has no face. Light without face, and therefore dark, where I walk and I look for, but it's as if everything has always already passed here, and now there is emptiness, a perfect absence, as if nothing had ever existed here, and no one like him had ever existed here, and no one like you, gentlemen, and like me. Everything has died out, and we are not even noticed it.